Okay, we are live. We are live. Okay, you guys are welcome. You are welcome. Good evening, everyone. Okay, more people are joining us. More people are joining us. Immediately you come in, mute your mic and turn off your camera. Mute your mic and turn off your camera so we don't have distractions during the class. Mute your mic, turn off the camera. Mute your mic and turn off the camera. Mute your mic and turn off the camera. We start at exactly 8 p.m. Start at exactly 8 p.m. Okay, more people are joining us. We start at exactly 8 p.m. More people are coming in. All right. Good evening, everyone. I think you can start already. You can start already. All right. So share my screen now. Share my screen in a bit. All right. Can you all see my screen? If you can see my screen, indicate in the chat box. Indicate in the chat box. If you can see my screen, indicate in the chat box. Can you all see my screen? Mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. Can you all see my screen? If you can see my screen, indicate in the chat box. Type yes in the chat box. Type yes in the chat box. Okay. If you can see my screen, type yes in the chat box. Let me get confirmation. Then we proceed, everyone. Can you all see my screen? Very good. Everyone, can you see my screen? Samuel has responded. Okay, Daniel says you can see my screen. Linus says you can see my screen. Perfect. You have the chat box there. Respond. Use the chat box. To see the chat box, you will click to see the chat box, you click on those three dots at the bottom right, at the bottom of your screen. Then you will now click on install messages. All right. So I welcome you, all of you guys, to today's class. Today we are going to discuss fundamentals of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Today we are discussing fundamentals of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Now, now, first of let's let me introduce myself. My name is Kevin Chiboyem. I'm a blockchain enthusiast and crypto trader based in Benue State, Nigeria. And my personal mission is to accelerate Africa's transition into a sustainable and developed economy by leveraging on innovation, capital, and policies. Now, my background is in um, biochemistry, microbiology, and teaching. I'm passionate about education and driving adoption of blockchain and crypto assets in Africa. So by the end of this event, we all should know what Bitcoin is and cryptocurrencies are, how blockchain works, several use cases of blockchain, and also how to buy or sell cryptocurrencies with your local currency, which is Nigerian naira. Now, first off, what is money? What is money? That is a very important topic that has been discussed in our world today. Now, money is a tool to exchange value. Any object could be used as money. In the olden days, you discover that our ancestors used cowries. They used cowries as money. At a point, they used paper money. At a point, they used various tools. They used silver, they used gold. All these are money. So before anything can be used as money, it has to have a shared belief in the sense that I give you that and you accept it as a means of payment. In the same way, if you accept it as a means of payment, it means others should also accept it as means of payment. That is what makes it money. Once more than two people accept it as means of payment, that is when it becomes money. Now, what is fiat money? Fiat money refers to money that is issued by your government of a country. It has legal tender and replaces gold and other commodities that everybody uses. In the olden days, gold was a store of value. That was the most important currency as at the olden time. So today, fiat money replaces gold. No every person can hold gold today, but with fiat money, which the government issues, you can actually use it. So another feature of fiat money is that it is not scarce. There is inflation. Government prints this money over and over. They print the money over and over, and then it has no intrinsic value because there is inflation. The money keeps coming. The money keeps coming. So that is the meaning of fiat money. Remember, the essence is for you to be able to exchange it with another person. Now, what are cryptocurrency or what is cryptocurrency per se? Now, cryptocurrency is another form of money. It's a digital form of money. The same way we have fiat money, that's the same way we have cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency is protected by cryptography, a very important blockchain technology that protects this money. You can't hold this money with your hand physically, just the way you hold your fiat money, but it has more value than it. Now, it cannot be duplicated or destroyed. One of the features of fiat money, as I mentioned before, is that fiat money fiat money is printed over time by governments of countries. It can be duplicated, but with cryptocurrency, that is not possible. Now, cryptocurrency is distributed in what we call peer-to-peer. Cryptocurrency is distributed in what we call peer-to-peer, meaning you and the other person needs no middleman to be able to exchange cryptocurrency. Just like exchanging your naira, what do you need? You need your bank before you can be able to exchange this naira. You understand? There's always a middleman. But in cryptocurrency, it is distributed. It is peer-to-peer. There is no there is no middleman. Then cryptocurrency is borderless. I can actually stay here in Nigeria and send money to somebody in London without any middleman and without any restrictions. That is the borderless aspect of it. Now, okay, let's accept all those just joining the meeting. Let's accept those joining the meeting. Let's accept those joining the meeting. Few more are joining. Few more are joining the meeting. Few more are joining the meeting. Okay. Now, what is Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin? Now, Bitcoin, please mute your mic, mute your mic, mute your mic. When you join, you mute your mic. You mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. Who is causing all this noise? Sorry for that interruption. Let me find out who is causing this noise. Okay. Let me find out who is causing this noise and mute the person. Just a minute, please. Oh man, more people are joining. Please, when you join, you mute your mic. Mute your mic. Mute your mic. Once you've joined, you mute your mic. You mute your mic. It's very, very important so that we don't have distractions in the background. Mute your mic. Now, let's go back. Now, like I mentioned, Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency, just the same way you have various forms of money, which I mentioned are cryptocurrencies and fiat money. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency. And what are the features of cryptocurrencies that I mentioned is that cryptocurrency is digital. As you can see here, Bitcoin is digital form of money and it is the first. Now, cryptocurrency is protected by cryptography. Cryptography is a technology that protects Bitcoin and makes it um, different from fiat. So that tells you that it is transparent. It cannot be duplicated, just like governments of countries keep printing money, creating inflation over time. But in the case of Bitcoin, that is not the case. There is only 21 million Bitcoins that will ever be in circulation. Anything outside is you cannot just wake up one day and print other quantities of Bitcoin. So this makes it scarce, unlike our fiat currency. Now, Bitcoin is distributed, which is a feature of cryptocurrencies. So it can be done peer-to-peer, that's P2P network. So it is open source. You can actually transfer it to anybody anywhere in the country and in other countries. So it is borderless and censorship resistant. Now, who created Bitcoin? The Bitcoin we all hear today was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. It is not actually known who Satoshi Nakamoto is. It could be a person, it could be a group. It is not actually known. They all went silent after the creation of Bitcoin, possibly for security purposes. So after creating this wonderful technology, he or they went silent. So it is a computer scientist, as we believe, a pseudonymous computer scientist, and he is the creator of blockchain technology. Blockchain technology has lots of use cases in our world today. Aside cryptocurrencies, there are other things which we do with blockchain technology. So Satoshi Nakamoto was the first one who created this blockchain technology and created a brilliant solution to the double spend problem, and it was launched in 2009, and like I said, they disappeared. Now, now, um, just a minute, just a minute. Seems my slide is freezing. Okay, very good. Now, what is blockchain? You've heard of the word blockchain. What is blockchain? Blockchain is a distributed database. Distributed database simply means that things that are happening on the blockchain can be noted all across the world. It is more of a distributed ledger, such that what is happening in one node, it is being spread across every node. Understand? A transaction that is being done here can be traced by another person in London, such that I can't come and I can't say the transaction was not done. Say I want to cheat somebody. Once it's done and it's recorded on the blockchain, it is there, total and final. It cannot be changed. So that is it. It's a distributed database. There are nodes all around the world for blockchain. There are nodes all around the world that record this information. So what happens here in London? What happens in London is the same thing that happens in Nigeria, the same thing that happens in Europe. There is no difference. So nobody can actually cheat using blockchain technology. Now, blockchain, like I mentioned, is distributed database, and there are chains of linked blocks. Linked blocks, if you think of what blocks really means, block simply means things that are used for building, right? You put a block, then connect another block, then connect another block. That is how the blockchain works. So we have lots of information that are being stored in blocks. Understand? These information are being stored in blocks, and then they are distributed all around the world, such that when one block leaves the blockchain, others it can still continue and it can always be traced. That is why a transaction that I do here, once you have my deposit address or once you have the transaction hash, you can actually check it from your end because it is a chain. It is a chain. So it is a special type of ledger that can store documents, can store all sorts of digital data, not just cryptocurrencies. So it is not just about cryptocurrencies. There are various use cases of the blockchain. Various use cases of the blockchain. Just a minute, few people are joining us. Let me admit them. Now, furthermore, in blockchain, the participants do not need to trust each other. Everyone keeps track of balances and transactions. What happens if someone tries to cheat the system? Now, what this simply means is that I, personally, Kevin, dealing with somebody in London, I don't have to trust that person because there is a blockchain. Any information that is being stored on the blockchain cannot be changed. So there is nothing like cheating. Cheating cannot occur once things are being tracked on the blockchain. So I can actually see the balance of the person in London. Once I send him money and he said he didn't receive it, what do I easily do? I go to the blockchain, paste the transaction hash, and check the required information there. So once I confirm from there that it is done, there is no way I can believe him because the blockchain has shown it to me. So the participants do not need to trust each other and everyone can keep a balance on the system. And you cannot cheat the system. You cannot cheat the system. As you can see here, all these are linked blocks. Look at the links. Look at the links. All these are linked blocks. So once the blocks are linked, nothing can be removed. So if a bad chain goes, if a chain tries to go wrong, the other ones correct it almost immediately. So those are the uses of the blockchain. Few minutes, more people are joining us. Okay, all right, they are in. Now let's compare Bitcoin and blockchain. Most people tend to um, say Bitcoin is blockchain, and some say blockchain is Bitcoin because they do not have the knowledge. Now, comparing it, you see that first of as I mentioned, Bitcoin is digital currency and it is what? It is the first technology that was built on the blockchain. Blockchain had other applications like I mentioned, but Bitcoin was the first technology that was built on the blockchain. And blockchain is a distributed database such that any information that is being stored on the blockchain, it is distributed around all nodes around the world, all Bitcoin nodes around the world. A transaction that is done right here in Nigeria can be traced by a node in London, can be traced by a node in Ghana, can be traced by a node in USA. So that is how it is. So Bitcoin was the first digital currency built on the blockchain. Now, Bitcoin is a financial asset. You can trade it on most exchanges, as you guys know. You have Binance and other exchanges where you can trade it. That is why Bitcoin is tradable. You cannot trade blockchain. Blockchain is not a coin. You understand? It is a database and stores information. It's a chain of blocks. So it stores records of information. And as I mentioned, it's the first and most popular cryptocurrency. There is no single person around the world today that hasn't heard of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is that popular. Now, Bitcoin is a computer software. You understand? It is digital. It is not something you hold in your hand. While in blockchain, any kind of digital data can be stored, and it has several use cases as I mentioned. Bitcoin is open source. Anybody can build on the Bitcoin, and you have heard of Bitcoin being forked. You've heard of coins being forked. That is exactly what it means. So Bitcoin is open source. Anybody can build another coin from Bitcoin. Now it is public and decentralized. In Bitcoin, there is no centralized authority. There is no bank. There is no middleman. That is the essence. Oh man, it's noise. Please mute your mic. Immediately you join, mute your mic. Immediately you join, mute your mic so as not to distract others with noise. Okay? It's very, very important to mute your mic and turn off your camera. So, Bitcoin is public and decentralized, while blockchain is a digital ledger. It is a digital ledger. Please mute your mic immediately you join so as not to distract others. Now, going further, Let's compare Bitcoin and fiat money. Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency, and fiat money, which you know that is being provided by your government. Now, Bitcoin, first of all, is decentralized. It is decentralized. There is no middleman. While fiat money is centralized, anybody can. The governments are in charge of it. The fiat money, Nigerian government produce naira, US government produce dollar, Ghana government produce cedis, so it is controlled by government. There is control there. While in the case of Bitcoin, it is peer to peer. You don't need any middleman. You and I can transact with nobody in the middle without anybody knowing what you are doing. So it is peer to peer. Now, fiat money is not scarce due to the government producing it every single day. And that causes what? It causes it to be inefficient. Causes it to be inefficient. The value keeps depreciating. You all can check and see the rate of naira over the year. You see that naira keeps shooting down, while the dollar keeps going up. As of today, naira hit 500 naira. A dollar hit 500 naira on Binance. That's to tell you that our fiat money is useless. It has unlimited supply. While in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, it has controlled and limited supply. And transactions on fiat money, it is not cheap. Try sending money from here to London. You see what I'm talking about. So there are lots of charges. There are lots of charges you get by using fiat money, but in cryptocurrency using Bitcoin, it is fast and cheap. Now, let's look at an analogy. Now, to fully understand what this fiat money, to fully understand what this fiat money or the relationship between this fiat money and cryptocurrency, let's look at this example. Now, take it that we have a person called Alice. We have Alice, and say Alice is in USA, for example, and Alice wants to send money to Bob. Say Bob is in Nigeria. So Alice has to first of all pass through the bank before the money gets to Bob. Understand? Now, if you check the normal bank rates, there's always a percentage the bank charges on every transaction that you are sending. So Alice wants to send $200 to Bob, but the bank is charging 7%. 7% of that $200. That's approximately $14. So the $200 leaving Alice passes through the bank. The bank takes a whole $14 from her, and then Bob gets $186. Now, it is not fast. Before this money leaves USA and gets to Nigeria, it takes approximately 1 to 3 working days before the money gets there. So you've seen that using your fiat money, there are so many restrictions. One, you have high transaction fees, and secondly, it delays. So if you must know, the worldwide remittance is made up to 689 billion in 2018. 7% would account for $48 billion. So this is the amount that people have actually spent on fees. The banks keep ripping off people with these numerous fees. But now comparing this with a transaction on the blockchain, now let's look at this. Alice wants to send Bob $200, the same way she wanted to deal with fiat. Now, if she has to compare with blockchain and then fiat, this is what she will do. Now she tries to send it using blockchain technology. So she's sending Bob $200. Now, blockchain actually has fees, but the fees are very minimal, very very minimal. They are not expensive at all. Approximately just $1 in fees is what she's going to spend to send Bob that money, and Bob receives $199. As compare $1 and $14 with the bank charges, and you see that blockchain transactions are cheaper. And what's the processing time? Between 30 to 90 minutes. Just within an hour, this guy has received his money without any delay. So one amazing thing that actually happened is that on January 16th, somebody paid $1 billion in a single transaction. Do you know how much he paid in fees? Just $0.49. That's less than 500 naira to move $1 billion. Now, imagine this person moving $1 billion from his bank. Imagine the charges the bank will take from this money. Say they are charging 7%, for example, from $1 billion. You can imagine how much it will be. So blockchain transactions are actually cheap, and they are very, very fast. They're very cheap and they're very, very fast. So that's one advantage of using blockchain to do your transactions. Using cryptocurrency to do your transactions are very cheap and they're very, very fast. Now, Another thing that we have to understand are the use cases are the cryptocurrency wallets. Rather, we have cryptocurrency wallets to store our money, the same way we have wallets to store our fiat money. The same way you store your Nigerian naira in your wallet. The same way we store cryptocurrencies in wallets. Cryptocurrencies have wallets. So we have a Bitcoin wallet to store Bitcoin. We have Ethereum wallet to store Ethereum and the rest of that. So all these cryptocurrency wallets can be in form of software. We have software that you can download onto your desktop app or your mobile app or your hardware or even paper wallets. You can store all these. You have what we call your private key. Understand? So with your private key, you are safe. So you can actually write it down on paper. That's what we call paper wallets. You can download them on your mobile phone. You can download it on your desktop wallets, desktop to store these cryptocurrencies. So that's the way you store your cryptocurrencies with your crypto wallets. So you don't store Bitcoin in an Ethereum wallet. You store Bitcoin in a Bitcoin wallet. You store Ethereum in an Ethereum wallet. Understand? Now, what are the use cases of blockchain aside cryptocurrencies? Blockchain has a lot of application in our world today. Now, in cases of remittance, just as the example I gave above, you can see blockchain was used to remit funds at a cheaper rate and at a faster rate. So blockchain transactions are cheaper and they are faster. So in case of remittance, blockchain is perfect for that. Now in supply chain, blockchain can also be used in supply chain. You can track transactions from point of manufacture, from point of raw materials to the point of final delivery. So in the supply chain, blockchain can be used as well because it's distributed. What you see in one node is something that applies in another node, is something that appears in the other node. So in case of supply chain, it can be used. In case of healthcare, blockchain can be used as well to store records of people's health. Imagine somebody has an accident today in a location where okay, I think some people are trying to join us. Let me accept them in. People are trying to join us. Now, in case of healthcare where blockchain can be used, imagine somebody has an accident today and needs medical treatment. Needs medical treatment. How do you get this person's records? How do you get this person's medical records? So it is not possible, but with blockchain technology, you can actually record all these. You can actually record all these at a single point. You understand? So other use cases of blockchain is in charity. You can actually use blockchain in charity. You have this DeFi, decentralized finance, as most of you know. You have we have um we have gaming. You can use it in governance. You can use it in identity management. So many use cases of blockchain. Now, other uses of blockchain we have in case of remittance. In case of remittance, you can use blockchain in remittance. So so worldwide transfer of money, you can use blockchain for that due to the fact that it has lower fees and it has faster transactions. Now, blockchain use cases. Let's talk about supply chain like I mentioned. Blockchain can be used to track transactions from the point where raw materials are being manufactured to the point where it gets to the final user. So a network of people and businesses creating and distributing products and services which lacks efficiency and transparency without using the blockchain technology. At a point, you cannot track how these things happen from the point where raw materials are brought forward to the point of it getting to the end users. You can't track it. Or blockchain technology, it is made possible. Now, another use case of blockchain technology is in the case of healthcare. Like I mentioned, you can actually use blockchain technology to store medical data, that's patients' records. And this data can easily be erased or modified in centralized databases. Imagine you have a general hospital where the records are being kept. Now, in the general hospital where these records are being kept, it is easy for hackers to actually get into this database. If they want to take the record of a president or a top politician, they can easily get it. But blockchain technology, all these are made safer and anybody can actually erase it. If somebody wants to lie about his medical details, person can actually go to the hospital and erase it or modify it. Or blockchain technology cannot. Once it's recorded there, it is stored there for everybody to see. Understand? Everybody can see it, and everybody can see the medical records, and it cannot be changed. So it is very, very transparent. So in blockchain healthcare, there is fraud protection, data integrity. When I say data integrity, I mean nothing can be changed once it has been uploaded on the blockchain. Now let's talk about decentralized finance. In decentralized finance, as you all have been hearing about DeFi, decentralized finance. Decentralized finance means is another form of blockchain technology. Is something that is reigning now. Now in DeFi, they have many features. We have features such as DEXs. DEXs means decentralized exchanges. We have lending, we have borrowing. So in decentralized finance, it is just like your normal finance of the world. But in this case, it is built on the blockchain. Now, let's talk about lending. Lending it simply means how do I put it? Lending simply means you give something. You understand? You lend things to people for a fixed interest. For a fixed interest. So at the end of it all, say I want to lend somebody $100 and take it down, taking 1% interest every month. You see, it is a very good deal because at the end of the period, when the person um, has paid back, you get back your main money, and then you get back your interest. Understand? If the person doesn't pay back, the blockchain has a way to pay you back. Understand? So this lending is a good way to make money from cryptocurrency in decentralized finance. Borrowing is just the opposite of lending. When you borrow money from the lender, you have the responsibility to pay it back within a specified period. And if it's not paid back, you have assets that you've laid down there before you could be able to borrow. So those assets will be liquidated and given to the person. So it has various benefits of global assets. Anybody can actually use it. There's no restriction whether you're a Nigerian or from USA or the rest. Now there is no KYC that is required. So if you are from a country where KYC is difficult, there is no restriction and there is enough liquidity. So the issues that DeFi has is issues of education. Most people are not educated on this DeFi products. Most people are not educated on the DeFi products. And then we have scalability issues with Ethereum high fees. Ethereum gas transactions are actually very high these days. So it is actually difficult for most people to use DeFi. So user experience. Once you've made an experience on the DeFi network, it is actually almost incorruptible. Understand? You cannot correct it. But with more education, you see that all these things are being utilized effectively. Now, let's talk about Binance. What is Binance exactly? Binance is the world's leading technology, blockchain, and cryptocurrency infrastructure. Okay, and some people want to join us. Okay, think I'll continue this class on my mobile. My system battery seems to be going down, so you just bear with me. Just bear with me. Continue the class on mobile. Just some few minutes. Just some few minutes.